Greetings, wrestling fans, and welcome to another edition of the Ragin Marks Wrestling Podcast. One of your hosts, Ravishing Randy, joined as always by my good buddy Rampage Ramsey. Ramsey, what's going on, my man?
None back in this hot ass south of Louisiana.
Welcome home, my man. Welcome home.
It's hot. As you see, I got the fan blowing this way. I got the AC blowing. It's hot.
You
And
know,
it's cool. It's a cooler day of this. It's probably the coolest day of the month right now.
look, it's helped with, the rain because it's been storming its ass off and on, most of the day today. So it's definitely helped. But yeah, bro, ungodly hot. I know we took a few weeks off. Granted, there was kind of a lot of moving parts going around. Ramsey was in the middle of moving back from South Carolina here to New Orleans. Let's say welcome home. I went on vacation for a week. Spent a couple days in Tennessee, and then eventually made my way up to Chicago, which that was a blast. Lindsay and I are already talking about trying to go back up there again sometime not too soon. Dude, first full day that we were in Chicago, it's like low 70s. And at night it got down into the low 60s. And I'm like, it is middle of fucking July. And I got to put on a sweater. What the shit?
You see,
I didn't want to fucking leave, man. I was like, dude, this is the life.
I am happy for you on that because my experiences in Chicago were I was in Chicago for one of the coldest on record, where I had frostbite. I had two pairs of fucking long johns, pair of jeans, and I still got frostbite on my leg.
Oh, Jesus.
And then I was in Chicago for one of the hottest summers on record. And I'm like sitting there, I'm like, I love my company to send me to places where it was just like, okay. And then I got sent to Chicago with the most rain on record, where O'Hara got flooded and couldn't fly out. So yeah, I love Chicago because I love the thing. I really do. I love the food. I love going down Michigan Avenue. I like everything about it. Um, Going to Wrigley. I know you went to Wrigley. You got to see the Sox and the Red Sox, not the White Sox, the Red Sox and the Cubs.
Yeah, sadly, did not get to go to a game.
Ah,
I gotta fill you in on all that, but we did get to do the Wrigley tour, and I was very glad that we at least got to do that. I mean, dude, didn't even get to tour Fenway when Lindsay and I went back in 2018, but getting to do the tour of Wrigley and really get to see the inner workings and everything, that was a really cool experience. So a little bummed that didn't get to go to a game, but I can at least say got to see Wrigley, got to do the tour, and just gives me something to look forward to the next time I go back to Chicago. So
yeah, the whole vibes of Chicago, and I was like on Google Maps, and I was looking that area. Everything's changed. I was like looking around. I was like going on Street View, and I was like, yeah, I don't remember none of this. So it's like it's completely kind of a whole different complex. Of the area is different. But hope you got a deep dish pizza.
Yep.
I hope you got a freaking Italian beef sandwich.
Did not get to do that. That is on the agenda for the next time we go.
And a Chicago hot dog, because that's the only ones I eat.
I gotta tell you, I'm not a big fan.
I hate hot dogs. I hate hot dogs.
I don't hate hot dogs, but a lot of the stuff that goes on a Chicago dog, not personally a fan of, and so that's why I'm like, everybody's like, oh man, Chicago dog, Chicago. I'm like, it's cool, bro. I'm not gonna yuck your yums, but to me that's a yuck. So I'm good.
That's the only hot dog I will eat. That's the only Chicago hot dog. So from the same place, I think Al's Italian beef. Get from Al's Italian beef. You got a hot dog and Italian beef. Bro.
Hey, look, that's how you roll. That's all good. I'm good on my end. But nah, just a lot of moving parts, and there's been a lot that has gone down over the summer since the last time you and I recorded.
Yeah, a whole
So
bunch of them.
if we were to actually sit there and go over each and every item in detail, this would probably be like a 6-hour show. And I don't necessarily think we're looking to talk for that long. So this is
Yep.
going to be kind of a quick hits recap of most of what's gone down over the summer in the build up to SummerSlam, which, as of us recording this, is going to be taking place this weekend. So definitely going to do a preview of that and everything that's kind of built over the summer in the lead up to SummerSlam. And then also maybe a little TNA and a little AEW, because they had some big shows over the last few weeks as well. And so, Ramsey, I'm going to kind of switch things over to you and be like, what rabbit hole do we want to go down first?
I don't remember. Did we do a recap on Money in the Bank? I don't think we did.
I don't think we did either.
Yeah, because I think we were supposed to, and then shit happened, and so like let's first off the Money in the Bank. That day of Money in the Bank, WWE had held two shows. The triple, the goddamn. See, you're gonna put me in charge, and I have old timers, mid timers. Let's put mid timers.
I just asked you what you wanted to talk about first. I look, yeah, you got to be prepared, my man. do you want to talk about like the results and just kind of like the big thing coming out of it?
I think the main thing coming out of the stuff that weekend. Weekend,
that was a big weekend between the AAA mega show. That had a lot of like AAA, TNA, WWE talent. That was crazy in and of itself. Worlds Collide, I think, was the name of the show. Yeah. I mean, that was a hell of a show. And then the fact that you had, like Chad Gable wrestling 2 matches, in less than 24 hours, like same day, pretty much. The fact that you had Stephanie Vaquer pretty much do the same thing. I think she wrestled like 3 matches over the course of like Saturday night. She did NXT, and then she did Worlds Collide, and then she did, Money in the Bank. So I mean, it was just kind of crazy how all of that came together the way it did. I loved how everything played out with Naomi. It was kind of like one of those things that, she gets her ass kicked by Jade, but then she in the end gets the last laugh by being the Money in the Bank holder. And just like that was like one of my big takeaways from it. I also liked the storyline with Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria. Just the fact that, like, to me, Lyra, since she had been called up to the main roster, has been a very character. Like, great wrestler, but as far as a character, not really much there. And so I really feel like this feud that she's had with Becky Lynch has added an extra dimension to her. And then having her drop the title to Becky was kind of nice, in the fact that she basically had to do the whole, I got to raise your hand, I got to call you champ, all that stuff after the match. And then, she proceeds to give her that German suplex right after. That was kind of a nice, cap on it. And I've loved everything that's been going on with, the two of them. And then you throw Bayley into the mix as well. So I kind of like how a lot of that has developed coming out of it. Seth Rollins winning, that to me was kind of no shock. That was, called it. I mean, granted, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure in our preview of Money in the Bank, I think I'm pretty sure I said that Naomi was going to win. Or
you changed it at the end because I convinced you to give it to Alexa Bliss, and you agreed at the end. So you did say
I said Roxanne. Roxanne, but I was like, if you're gonna go heel with it, you give it to Naomi. That makes perfect sense. And
50-50. So it's a 50. You 50-50 yourself.
I 50-50 myself. But you know what? I hedged that bet correctly. So, um, and then, dude, like, um, not gonna really get too deep into Evolution because I didn't get a chance to like actually sit and fully watch it because one, um, vacation weekend. So, sorry, packing, getting ready to travel, and everything. But I mean, I caught highlights and I caught like YouTube clips and things like that. But dude, the match between Io Sky and Rhea Ripley was fucking phenomenal. And then the chef's kiss of mwah, you have this fucking amazing match that goes, nearly 30 minutes, and then you have Naomi come in, cash in, and ruin the moment. And you got your new, Raw Women's Champion, or the Women's World Champion. Um, that I mean, to me, that was just perfection. Like classic 5-star caliber match. End it with leaving both of those ladies looking strong by having a chicken shit heel basically slink off and steal the title. So no, I loved how all of that played out. So no, great job to WWE for the storytelling that they have been doing with Naomi. Have you had a chance to watch WWE Unreal? Yeah, because I know
Yes,
it just
I actually,
dropped a few
I
days
just,
ago.
I just watched it watched all 5 episodes this morning.
Okay, so I've only watched 3. I was binging it earlier today while I was doing chores. So I finished episode 3. But man, I loved the behind the scenes storytelling that they were doing with like Naomi, Jade, and Bianca and everything like that. Like how you actually got to see what they were talking about behind the scenes in the swerve, or like what went into the planning of the swerve at Elimination Chamber, where you have Liv, like cowering and crawfishing and being like, oh no, oh no, oh no. And then just the swerve to go right, Jade go right after Naomi, and then the theatrics of Bianca behind the glass, like, why are you doing this? No. So no, I just Unreal has been a freaking great watch, and I can't wait to finish the other 2 episodes. Don't spoil it.
I won't
I
say
mean,
anything.
it's wrestling, so I mean, it's like, come on, spoilers
Yeah,
everywhere.
you already know the ending, but you just don't know the lead up to the ending. But before we go a little bit, go any further from go forward because we were skipping timeline things.
Yeah.
Real quick, I just want to bring up uh after after the Money in the Bank, they did have Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia.
Hmm.
Cody Rhodes did become King of the Ring. Um, and no, I'm sorry, Jade Cargill became Queen of the Ring. So that's how they got their SummerSlam matches, title
Hmm.
matches. But with that John Cena CM Punk match was they don't disappoint.
No.
They don't
That,
disappoint.
like to me, that has been John Cena's best match on this retirement tour. Because I mean, like, if there's one thing that's been very frustrating, it's like I know that he's not the spry young chicken that he used to be, but it's just like his in-ring style to me has been crap. In a lot of these matches that he's been working as a heel, and I know that, like, oh well, he did say he was gonna he was here to ruin wrestling, and maybe by working a shit style, that's his way of ruining it for everybody. But no, I feel like his match quality has definitely suffered since he's come back. And Punk, I don't know what it is. It's like you have certain opponents where you bring out the best in each other, and like the Randy Cena match, like everybody talks about, oh man, that was a epic rivalry, but like that match, it was just like finisher, 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 big move, finisher, finisher, finisher. Punk and John told a story. And it's like they just bring out the best in each other, and it's every time that they wrestle a match. Shit, like that match that they had on Raw, back in, I guess this would have been like 2013, or like, yeah, it had to have been like 2013. It was like the build to Mania. This was basically like Punk's last chance that if he didn't win, that it was going to be Cena and Rock for sure, like the rematch at Mania, you know, and the desperation of Punk hitting the pile driver, the move that's banned and all this other stuff. Like that match still stands out to me as like one of the best Raw matches that I've watched over the years. And so it's like these two just have great chemistry together, and they always pull the best out of each other. So the very entertaining match. Result was pretty much chalk. Cena retains, Seth interferes, yada yada.
Yep. It also on that night, Solo Sikoa became the United States champion. The victory over Jacob Fatu, continued holding the title. The rematch, I guess rematch, rubber match, whatever match will be at this weekend at SummerSlam. We'll get into that later on. The night before Evolution, we did have Saturday night's main event where we have which storylines going into it, but Goldberg's final match, maybe? Question mark.
Do we want to have a sidebar here?
I don't want to talk about it, but I'm just saying, like,
no, because look, yeah, we had the match on that Saturday, all right, and Gunther gave him, in my opinion, a hell of a retirement match. Like like wrestlers have said, like old wrestlers have said this for the longest time, that like, look, when you go out, you always go out on your back, because it's not necessarily about you. It's about paying it forward to the business that made you, so it's like, if you're going to go out, you go out on your shield, you make a younger talent look good, and it's like you keep that story going. So I mean, Gunther gave him a hell of a match. Goldberg wasn't successful, but he looked very good in defeat. He didn't tap, he didn't get pinned, he passed out in a chokehold. So it's like he got a chance to have his family and friends in the ring. He got to speak for 30 seconds on air before it went off air, but still continued on Peacock. And so it was like, you could hear the full speech and everything. And then not even 3 days later, it's like barely 72 hours later,
he trashed it.
He has the audacity to go on Ariel Helwani's podcast and just shit on everybody. I mean, I can understand if you're going to say, like, hey, I kind of wish some things were different, but, they didn't have to give me a going away like they did. They, didn't have to do this or that. But, like, the amount of shit that he talked, and the, just all the things that he had to say, I can understand being frustrated, but then airing your grievances, not even 72 fucking hours after WWE rolled out the red carpet for you to do that shit. It just, everything he was saying, I just kept thinking, like, wow, what a piece of shit. And, like, look, to be fair, I had the opportunity to meet the guy. Very nice guy. I don't know if he had a bad day or if he had but like, you want to talk about not being appreciative of the things that you have and that you've received, and that, just to me, just the more and more he talked, it's just like, wow, what a piece of shit. And like, all the shit talk that Brett has done over the years about Goldberg, and a lot of people are like, man, this dude's like sour grapes, whatever. It's like, it's kind of looking like a lot of the shit that Brett was saying he was right about. And like everybody giving him a hard time, and it's like, fuck, maybe we should have listened to Brett.
Yeah,
Just like be unappreciative and just an ego, just an ego on this guy. And like I get, as a wrestler, you have to have ego if you want to like make it in this business. Like you have to have some kind of chip on your shoulder or a larger than life personality. But it's like some of those people too know that, like, after the bell, that's William Goldberg the person, not Bill Goldberg the wrestler. It's like he has no idea when it starts, when it ends. It's just he fucking lives the gimmick, apparently.
I just think he's like I said, he's one of those wrestlers that it was lightning in a bottle. It was good for the time, but he was not progressing the industry where he doesn't understand the industry. And I think all these years later, he still don't understand the industry.
Dude, the fact that he was like, "Oh, they wouldn't have done this to John Cena. They wouldn't have done this to Sting." The fact that he even brought up Sting goes to show how fucking little he knows. Because, like, if you want to talk about somebody that had a legit gripe on how they were treated in the WWE, it would be fucking Sting. But again, like, Sting was not a WWE creation. Goldberg was not a WWE creation. All right. They're not going to fucking give you that kind of stuff. The fact that he got the send out that he got, there's not a lot of retired wrestlers nowadays that got half of what he got.
Well, even if the run that he got as being the Universal Champion years ago, after the fuck ups he was doing in the ring, it's like they still give him fucking shot after shot, opportunity. It's like, okay, like, you should be thankful that they extended your namesake and have your name still out there. I'm like, because I wouldn't, if I was WWE, I wouldn't. No.
No.
What does this do this for a storyline going into SummerSlam? This was like the only. Ooh, excuse me. Had hot sausage today for the first time in many, many months. And his payback's a bitch. This is like the first.
Used to that good food again, man.
It was the only match on the card that didn't make fucking sense for Saturday Night Main Event that was leading into SummerSlam. So it's like, what the fuck?
The fact that he came out and he was like, "Oh, well, I wish we could have done it at a pay-per-view. That's a pay-per-view caliber match." It's like, brother,
dude, you were on fucking national television. You were on fucking.
You have more eyes seeing you on NBC and on streaming on Peacock than you would have had if this was at SummerSlam or, any other pay-per-view or premium live event. It's like, he does not understand the business at all. It's just, goddamn. It's like, dude, and it's nuts. It's like, because you've been a part of this off and on for 30 plus years or 30 years, whatever. And you still don't get it. You want to talk about a guy that moonlights as a wrestler? It's fucking Bill Goldberg.
Yeah, he's one of those fake ass. We could be doing this for 3 hours, going back and shitting on him.
I had to talk about it because, dude, like, I mean, I listened to podcast after podcast. Like, it's a long fucking drive from New Orleans to Chicago. Okay. I had nothing to do on that long car ride but listen to podcast after podcast after podcast, and just I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed laughing just listening to the number of people that were shitting on Bill Goldberg and his ego and his comments. Like, I just thoroughly enjoyed it.
And we're going to touch on it in a little bit, but now, since the biggest the favorite fan favorite to shit on has passed away, he took the mantle. He's not he's that guy now. He's
look,
that guy.
I know we're gonna kind of touch on it later because I do have some thoughts on that, but we'll save that for later in the show. Um,
But he's now that guy that forever till he passes. That's going to be the guy that's going to be like, oh, he's going to make an appearance and be like, oh, you fucking idiot. He'll be like, he's just talking shit. No one is. He's gonna do that. He's gonna be the guy like you heard Goldberg said. Who gives a fuck?
I mean, yeah, he's a guy that you could definitely tell, only in it for the money. Never about the craft, never about the, and the funny thing is that he's going scorched earth like this while his son is in training in trying to break into the business. So you're going to talk all this shit and possibly have WWE slam the door in his son's face because you had to be disrespectful like that.
Because you're a dumbass.
Yeah, like
You're a dumbass.
um let's talk AEW for a second because I know we've been talking about like that particular weekend of Saturday night's main event, Evolution, NXT, which had a hell of a weekend as well. But like AEW to me, I kind of feel like they're firing on all cylinders again.
Sure.
Hey, I know you're not an AEW stan, but I feel like the big thing that we would knock on AEW a lot for stretches there was like the lack of coherent long-term storytelling. And I feel like with AEW All In Texas, you got to see kind of a lot of the groundwork that they had been laying for stories kind of come to fruition. And look, myself personally, I do feel like they're treading in the right direction. I know it's not your cup of tea, but I think All In Texas was a rousing success. And with some of the things kind of coming out of WWE, that weekend, I know like there were some hits and misses with WWE as well. I kind of feel like AEW capitalized on the moment when they had it. I feel like Hangman now being your champion, I feel like he's kind of in a position now where when he was champion the first time, he maybe wasn't ready to be in that position and to hold the mantle. I feel like he's ready now and has kind of matured into the role. You hear a lot of the wrestlers backstage talking about how he's kind of taken on that role as a locker room leader and he's taking it seriously. So I feel like while the Moxley stuff made no sense, just as far as we never really got the motivations and the machinations behind why they did what they did. You could make the joke that that storyline with them was so bad that by the time Hangman finally did win the belt and choke him out, to win the match and open that briefcase to unveil the AEW belt, that maybe it worked because of how bad it was. Like people were ready to see it come to an end, and it finally did, and there was that payoff. But I mean, like a lot of the other stuff too. The timeless Tony Storm and Mercedes Moné match was amazing. We have Athena that's now kind of going to be gunning for Tony Storm after winning the women's casino gauntlet match. So I mean, and then now you have MJF winning the men's, and he's going to be going after Hangman. So there's a lot of compelling stories going on the back end of the summer. And as I said, just like the AEW shows themselves have been very enjoyable to watch. There's a little something for everybody on there. It's not just, the good technical matches. I know you're not too big of a fan of the constant flippy dippy dippy shit, but I mean, when you have it here and you have it there, and it's not like the predominant 2 hours of each show, Dynamite or Collision. Like just to me, it's a more enjoyable product watching it on a week to week basis now. Whereas before, it felt like a chore. Conversely, there are times, as of late, it feels like this summer where watching WWE has been a bit of a chore. You could definitely tell, like coming out of Mania, um, that they've lost a lot of their sizzle. Because there was a stretch there where Triple H could do no wrong, but then it felt like this year it had been, mm, mm, uh, you
I
know,
agree because I'll be the first one. I'm the first one that started shitting on WWE this year. Look, I'll be honest. It's been there's certain storylines to put in like the women's storyline for has been firing all year. The men's it comes to that, like I said, here's the situation. You have too many of top talent, main event talent, and there's not enough spots to put them through, and then you get this kind of this and then you start going with, all right, we're gonna make new main event talents in Jey Uso, and then now it's like, okay, now where are we gonna put him? But then Gunther has to take a backseat. Like we're so they're in the luxury of having too much talent and then a top pool to be like, okay, we can. It mucks shit up because you gotta have, there's not enough ball. There's too many running backs and not enough footballs to fucking hand out to me. Now I will say shocking because you ready? You're sitting down. I'm glad you sitting down because um I have started watching TNA.
dude,
Because
if TNK were here right now, TNK would be floored to hear you say that.
but I think it all goes into with their agreement with WWE and NXT because it has brought in the infusion of like, okay, boom, you got the TNA champions. Now it's Trick Williams, JCJ. Now that's the shit that you want to talk about shocking. That
Yeah,
JCJ is a fucking champion.
not just an NXT champion, but also
Knockouts
TNA
champion.
Knockouts champion. The fact that JC Jane of all people is JC two belts, that was mind
That
boggling.
it mind boggles. But then also too is also well shit. In my head, back in my head, I'm like, oh fuck, who was her whole? What was her stable? Who she used to follow?
Talking about Toxic Attraction.
Yeah, where's she at?
Oh, Gigi Dolan.
No, not Gigi. We're talking about the
Talking about
leader. We're talking about
Mandy
uh
Rose.
Mandy Rose. She's in TNA,
No, she's
right?
not.
She's not.
No, you're talking about Ash by Elegance, who was Dana Brooke.
They all look the same. All blonde-headed fucking girls look the same to me.
No, dude, Mandy Rose is doing OnlyFans, man. Like
Oh, that's it.
yeah,
She quit the business. She quit the
yeah,
business. Oh, never mind.
yeah, no, like
I had to scare my mom.
When WWE fired her because she wouldn't give up her OnlyFans, she then ended up making more money doing OnlyFans than she ever did working in WWE. She's kind of like, yeah, I'm done with that.
I thought she was tough. My bad.
Mm-mm.
I get them all mixed up. But other than that, it's still like it's still to me. It's more. It's just the storylines are just building to a trick. Now you got the alliance coming together, trying to all the champions, all the three men belt champions are coming together to be like, we're going to be TNA. So it's going to be like TNA versus NXT, you know. So I see this coming. I think Hendry is actually. I think his contract's about to be up with TNA, and I think he's about to be um, NXT WWE bound.
Let me ask you this, because I know one big takeaway from Slammiversary was that there was maybe a missed opportunity, especially with them being in New York, um, of them not putting the belt on Mike Santana and having Trick retain in that three-way with them two and Joe Hendry. Where do you think Mike Santana fits in all this? Because I do think it's only a matter of time before he becomes a TNA champion. But do you think that was a missed opportunity, especially in front of that hot New York crowd?
No, no, because Mike Santana can't bring the recognition of that belt like Trick Williams is doing right now. That belt is being shown twice a week, once on Tuesday, once on Thursday.
Yeah, but
That belt
at
is being
some point, yeah, but at some point you do have to build up somebody in TNA to then have Trick do the honors and drop the belt to him.
the news
So,
came out that who signed an extension with WWE recently? AJ Styles signed in an extension, one year extension.
mm-hmm,
This is going to be his final year. I think what they're going to do is they're going to. I think they're going to lend him more to his retirement tour per
mm-hmm.
se to TNA. I think he's the one to go back and to have to where he brings it back to TNA because I look he's TNA. When he came
Yeah,
back to congratulate um forgot the kid's name Les Slater
Leon Slater.
Leon Slater
Mm-hmm.
that he was like he just brought he like TNA like it's TNA it's Mr. TNA. So I think that could be like a little storyline where you can get into him where he overtakes, he takes correct, like your ass, you know, to bring that back, but also have that title to still be flipping back forth WWE and TNA and having more recognition, get that title be more recognized. I think that's going to be it. Mike Santana, you can't forget that. I think he's okay. I think he's okay in the ring, but he still needs more grooming in the ring. He's not. I don't think he's that great of a talent in the ring to be single. He was great when he was a tag team, but he's not a great. I don't think he's there yet. I think you got. I think it has to be like an OG that's going to take that back, like Moose, or you're going to have like I think AJ or something.
I
When
mean,
I heard the extension was signed, I was like, he's going to make a TNA retirement tour.
I actually do. I do kind of like the idea that you're putting forth. Like, if, say, Trick were to hold it, person that it would make logical sense to drop it to would be someone like AJ Styles, and then AJ eventually drop it to like a younger TNA talent or something like that. And it's kind of like the passing of the torch, so to speak.
Because Trick losing it to Mike Santana does not help anything for Trick.
Mm-hmm.
Losing it to an AJ Styles or a Moose or even like another big vet, like an old timer,
Mm-hmm.
helps Trick get over more to where he's become this up and coming. Like when he starts making that main roster move, now we already know NXT champion, TNA world champion. You have to look out for him. But dropping it to Mike Santana, it doesn't help. It doesn't help Trick. It helps out. It doesn't help Trick. Doesn't help out. The thing you need to make sure that's a name to
Yeah.
help him get over and everything. But yeah, I think more AJ. I think someone that's TNA like TNA bound. Hell, what's also came down to the situation that Hardy Boys down the line. Hardy Boys versus
The Dudleys or Team
Dudley's
3D.
will Team 3D will happen. I can't wait for that because I think it's going
I'm
to be the
looking
most
forward
fun.
to that. Yeah, you got the Hardys that won the ladder match, the 4-way ladder match to be the new TNA Tag Team Champions, and then Bubba comes down to ringside, or Bully Ray, and makes the announcement that they're gonna have one more go in a TLC. So no, that's definitely excited to run it back one more time.
That could be
We won
also
last time.
that's also a name that can also be the one that can also take away from Bubba,
Potentially.
because then he's still on because he's still doing LFG. That's just think about it, that title being shown daily, just not for Bubba being on TNA, Bubba being on TNA, being on NXT, being on LFG, and doing Cyrus on the radio on the podcast. It
I need
brings it up.
TNA. I need TNA to get this new television contract figured out. They got to get on a better station where I can actually watch it on a consistent basis and not have to YouTube highlights, so that we could maybe have more crossover where you have TNA people winning NXT championships and then having that crossover, because I feel like we haven't really gotten a whole lot of that yet, and it needs to happen. I feel like if you want that brand crossover to feel a little more synergized and
What,
not more,
but how fucking shocking that it was JC Jane to make this move to
dude.
where it wasn't
I
fucking
I would have pegged
Jordana Grace.
Masha. I would have pegged Masha Slamovich as winning both, like being the 2-belt person. So yeah, the fact that JC ended up winning that match, that was a huge fucking swerve.
To have the where to have Masha versus Jordana Grace would be a great thing, great series for TNA and for NXT. Then you have Jordana. It's floored. I'm floored, but it's like one of those words like, fuck, I did not see this coming. And okay, let's see how this goes.
Well,
It's been going good. It's been going good.
Dude, like we kind of glossed over Saturday night's main event, and we didn't even talk about the biggest thing that happened at Saturday night's main event. Yeah, Goldberg had his retirement match. This is great. But Seth Rollins blowing out his knee, like,
But
and now,
did he?
but is it a work? Because that's now what the rumor and innuendo circulating around town is now, is that it was a work in the build up to SummerSlam. I don't know. I mean, if maybe it wasn't injured as serious as he initially thought it was, you can't tell me that wasn't a legit injury though that happened in the match. Like, to me, that's
Oh shit!
what happened to your camera.
I don't know. What about it? I'm about to. I think it's Come on.
We're live, folks.
Yeah. I lost camera. And I'm trying to switch to a different camera and I can't switch. But just there we go.
Hey. Now we
have
get
to
you
go
from a
to
different angle.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
There you go.
Now the
We're
fucking
back.
camera turned. Why did it turn off?
Yeah,
The
we'll
main
figure
camera turned
that out.
off, and then
We'll figure that out later. But no, so what do you think of the whole Seth Rollins thing?
I don't know, because if you're hurt, all right, I'm just going by timeline being hurt. If like you really tore your knee out, blow out your knee like that. Because on Monday or Tuesday that after he did it, he was hosting the Rich Eisen show that week.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're that hurt and if you blow out your knee, you're going to go see one doctor, and that's Dr. Andrews in Birmingham.
Mm-hmm.
And on Monday, you're in Los Angeles. Or Tuesday. I'm saying Monday or Tuesday. I can't remember. I think Tuesday. Tuesday he was in Los Angeles doing the Rich Eisen show, and he said that he couldn't do he said on air he could not do the scan because it was still
Too
swollen.
swollen. Yeah.
So and they were going to do it the next day, and I'm like, it's work. It's work right there. I'm like, because you would not be in fucking Los Angeles. I don't care if you had like to do the show. Your ass would be in Birmingham. If it's on Tuesday, if your knee is too swollen on a Monday, your ass is on first thing on Sunday. Your ass is in Birmingham. Monday, you're in Birmingham. Tuesday, you're in Birmingham. Wednesday, you're having surgery in Birmingham. He was in L.A.
So let me get this straight though. He couldn't fly to L.A., do a couple hours on the Rich Eisen show,
No,
fly
Wednesday you would
back,
have surgery. Wednesday,
fly
no,
back to Birmingham, same day,
no.
same day, and
Now WWE would have been like, no, fuck the Rich Eisen show. You need to be in Birmingham. We need to get you. Let's. This is serious. If it was a serious knee injury, I'm keep looking at. I see you on screen here, and the camera's right here now, and I'm all fucked up now. So what happens is when you're on just want to switch things up. All right,
are
that's better.
you gonna drag me down there? Am I now to your eye level?
Yeah, now it's not. I can now read the actually text on the screen better. But what happens is like if you're going to be on that thing and you're going to be looking at the knee injury, you're not going to be in Los Angeles. WWE's not going to have you in the company as a company. Like you're an asset. Fuck that. We need to make sure this is right because you have too many fucking things. There's so many things on his shoulders that they're trying for writing for the rest of the fucking year.
Mm-hmm.
I think he kind of twinged it. I think he kind of twitched it, and then I think it was on a fly because that shit was so sloppy. It looked weird. The ending looked weird. It was just like, okay, I don't know. But it could be a work. That was all could be a work. I just think it's a work because his ass was on Wednesday, still in LA hosting the show. By Wednesday, Thursday morning, you're having surgery on that knee. And you ain't flying back and forth from LA to fucking Birmingham. I'm sorry. First thing, there's not flights straight from Birmingham to unless WWE is just pumping that money. So okay, we can get you back and forth.
They're making money hand over fist right now. I mean, it's a possibility.
I don't think they're doing that because since and after the fact that they just released like internal people, like thousands of internal people, the optics you don't want to have. I don't think that. I don't think it. Mm-mm. I don't think he. I think on Saturday, I think Punk beats Gunther, and then he stashes in. He cashes in.
Let's go ahead in that case and jump into the SummerSlam preview. Just since we're on the topic of it, Saturday. WWE's actually come out and announced what matches are going to be taking place on what days. So Saturday we have the WWE Women's Tag match or Tag Championship match. Best friends Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair taking on Raquel and Roxanne. Do we see any title change taking place there?
First thing, what a fucking great pairing. Because that shit just says this should not work, but it fucking works. Yes, I think they take it off of. I think no. I don't know because once there's two things about this. The incredible pairing of Charlotte and
Alexa.
I'll see it in my screen. I still can't even say it. Alexa. But let's talk about how the Judgment Day was about to be dead again and got re-brought back up to it's a fucking Phoenix.
Oh, absolutely, dude.
It's the
Like
Phoenix Day
the nine, the
because
nine, the nine li- the 9 lives of the Judgment Day. I think we're on life 4, or life 5 right now. Like,
it's like a Phoenix. It's just like, oh, it's about to die. It's about to be done. It's over. Storyline. There's no more storylines for this shit. Whoosh. There's actually talks and rumors and questions where can Dominic Mysterio be the AAA Grand Champion, hold all the championships in AAA and the IC belt, and be this multi belt guy is amazing. Then you got fucking okay, Roxanne comes in, and then at first like, oh shit, Liv got hurt. Like, oh, this is the end of this shit. There's no, and Roxanne is just because she's a rock star,
mm-hmm.
fucking hit it out of the ballpark. And I think she's a better tag team partner for
Raquel,
Raquel than Alexa was. Not Alexa, Liv.
Liv.
The Liv was. I think this is a better dynamic. I'm like, damn, it's just Judgment Day is just rocking. I don't know. I don't think. I think Judgment Day. I think Judgment stays with the title
Yeah,
because they're holding the belts. They're holding the belts. They're just
I,
there's
I, I,
belts.
I don't see them dropping the championship yet because I do think it makes for more compelling story whenever Liv does come back. You have to sort of tell that story of Raquel and Roxanne being a better unit. And like, because I know Raquel had been very like, try to push Roxanne away, like, oh no, no, no. But you see, slowly but surely, Roxanne's growing on her, and they're getting to be better friends. And it's like, what's gonna happen when Liv comes back? So no, I think there's more story to be told, keeping the belts on them. But then what I'm sitting there is like, I'm loving this budding chemistry with Alexa and Charlotte. My question to you is, who's going to turn on who? Because
Oh,
it's one of those things where it's like, oh man,
oh, it's coming. It's coming to where the only thing I can see is you put the belts on Charlotte and Alexa, and to have it a storyline to bleed into where Alexa screws Charlotte because Alexa finally joins Wyatt Six.
I
That's the
think
only way I see it kind of bleed into it. But
also, well,
Alexa
like,
will be the one. Alexa will be the one to stab Charlotte in the back because Alexa, there's that dark side, and it keeps and there's a with Lily keep when she keeps having Lily, there's that thing that says, "Oh shit, she is 1 foot away to being full to being in a Wyatt Six."
it's a ticking time bomb because they've teased it. They've teased that for so long, and I think that like when it comes to Charlotte, you know, it's like, yeah, we've shat on Charlotte, not like Charlotte the person, not Ashley Fleer, but like the character of Charlotte. Because, and I get why she's always in the main event because she's the quote unquote gold standard and everything, and she's one of the best. But at the same point in time, it's like when you're constantly holding the championship, it's also like, hey, can we give other people a chance? And I feel like sometimes people can't differentiate the character from the actual human being. And, like the storyline that went down with her and Tiffany Stratton into WrestleMania and a lot of her personal life kind of being brought to the forefront. Um, when she wrote that article, that kind of talked about, you know, her insecurities and how a lot of that shit really hit home and kind of hurt her, and her not knowing if, hey, when the crowd boos, are they booing Charlotte Flair or Ashley Fleer, like, and so like that was a very moving piece, and I kind of feel like a lot of people are behind her now. I mean, you at least see it with the crowd reactions and everything like that. A lot of people are behind her now. Whereas before, we're like, dude, Ashley or Charlotte Flair sucks as a face because she's not believable as a face. Now she kind of has that goodwill from the fan base where they want to accept her as a face. So for her to have that and then pull a big show and boom, be freaking heel again, it's kind of like, eh. So no, I feel like if there's anybody that's going to be turning on someone, it's going to be Alexa turning on Charlotte.
It also helped out that Charlotte had that interview and that with Undertaker
Mm-hmm.
and on the
6 feet under.
6 feet under, and it was Undertaker and it was also Michelle McCool
Mm-hmm.
was on that episode, and it actually made Charlotte seem in a different light than normal, and then everything. And also, I'll say this untold. I'm not trying to give no spoilers, but
Oh well, oh no, Unreal. Well, no, because I watched the episode where she came back for the women's Royal Rumble, and they did the whole behind the scenes with her and everything, and coming back from knee surgery and everything. So yeah, no, I mean like that was
a
really
little more.
compelling stuff.
There's more. There's gonna be more about her.
Well, I'm sure there's going to be more probably about
Yeah.
WrestleMania. So okay, good. Yeah, don't spoil it. I want to see it.
So
So
it'll bring the other side on it, but yeah, I think Judgment Day retains. What's the next match?
yeah, I was gonna say we got to kind of speed through some of these. Next one that's listed on here: Gunther versus Punk for the World Heavyweight Championship. Main event, night one. You think?
It is. There's
Have they announced that it's the main event?
from what I heard, it was the main event.
Okay, because I think that's like the consensus, but I hadn't seen anything where they actually announced what was going to be the main event. You know that Cena and Cody are going to be main eventing night two. That's there's no doubt about that. But I mean, like looking at the matches here, that is the one. The only other one that I could possibly think of, and we'll touch on that match in a second. But here, um, do we see a scenario where Punk wins and then we have a cash in from Seth?
Yeah. Yeah. That's why it will be the last. It will be the main event, and Seth will cash. Punk will win. Seth cashes in, or Punk is just about to win, and Seth cashes in to make it a triple threat, and then Gunther retains. It's going to be one of the two. It's going to be a triple threat. Gunther wins, or Punk wins, and then he cashes in on Punk, and then do a Drew McIntyre moment, like Drew McIntyre, like a Drew McIntyre moment.
Well, like, yeah, because I've seen some arguments where it's like, oh no, but you have to consent to the match. Like, they got to be able to wrestle in order to, like, no, they don't. No, they don't, because that's not what happened in Drew's case when he lost it to Damian Priest. So yeah,
What I would like to be done, because I think this is a very key thing, is that every week on Raw, that case has been with Paul Heyman and it has been carried by Bronson Reed. What I would love to happen is if Seth is really hurt, that they give that case to Braun Breaker and let Breaker come in, because I'm telling you this, since Seth has left, since with this injury, Braun Breaker has been that dog. And he went from being the dog to the dog.
Yeah.
And like, I'm like, I know we were talking about we need to get him. No. Put that shit on him, rocking him to the fucking moon, because this dude is great. That promo, I text you, I said, that promo that fucking Paul Heyman did on Braun was like, damn. I'm like, all right, I'm all in. Let's go. It's like, it was like it was, he's ready. He's there. He's the man.
Yeah.
That's the guy. That's the guy. I'm like, you put the strap on him and you strap him to the fucking rocket and you let him go, because there's no way he's going to be awesome.
There was the other match that I thought could potentially be a main event match, only because of the names that are in it. But you got Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre. Maybe.
No, no. When you said the other match that would be a main event, it would be Roman Reigns, Jey Uso versus Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. That would be the other match that could be a main event, not Randy Orton Jelly Roll.
I was gonna say, but it's Jelly Roll.
That would be the first match.
You think that's the opener?
I think that's the opener. I think that's opener because you need to get that match done and over with because I don't know how long Jelly Roll is going to last.
I don't think that's the opener.
It's a match that I don't want to see. I really don't care about. And I just want to also bring this up. How fucking is like night one is regular wrestling match night, and then night two is gimmick night.
Yeah.
Because like all the gimmick matches are on night two. And all the regular matches are on night one, except for the if I'm not mistaken, the Mysterio and AJ Styles is the only match on night two that does have no gimmicks.
Well, real quick, because we just started kind of hot shotting all over the place. I was gonna ask, like, who do you see winning that match? Well, first off, are we even gonna have Drew McIntyre in the match because he's having green card visa issues and might not be able to leave the UK?
They sent a guy to his house to get his passport and to fly to Scotland to give him the passport. He will be there.
You better.
WWE, no. They paid somebody to fly to fucking Scotland, give him the fucking passport, and fly back. Trust me, he's already in the country. He's already in New Jersey. I'll say this. It's going to be Randy Orton Jelly Roll who's going to win this match.
And in the Braun Roman Jey match, I think it's safe to say that Roman and Jey can eat a loss. Need to build up the two Brauns. I think it's safe to say that Braun and Bronson are going to win that match.
I want so bad for Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed to win this match, but are we going to let Roman Reigns take 2 losses in a row?
It's Roman Reigns, dude. Roman Reigns. Okay, like, all right, I will see that scenario, and I'll raise you a different scenario. Till John Cena won the world heavy or won the WWE Championship again to become a 17th-time champion. How many matches in a row did he lose?
Well, he had 2 gimmick matches that he lost. He lost fucking no. What do you mean?
Dude,
he won fucking Elimination Chamber.
No, I mean, okay. I'm talking about before Royal Rumble. Okay, let's start there. Before his in-ring return at the Royal Rumble, how many times did he come back and did he lose? How many times did he come back and lose and lose and lose? And did it affect him? No. I feel like Roman Reigns is at that level now where wins and losses don't matter because he's fucking Roman Reigns.
It's 2 different scenarios. John Cena, there's a story like, oh, John Cena, can you? Oh, no, he's gonna do it. Nope, can't do it. Oh, I'm gonna get to the level to be get the match. Nope, he lost. He was doing that. He's like the loser underdog match scenario. Roman comes to the party like, this is Roman Reigns, dog. This is like we're talking about Roman Reigns.
But Roman doesn't need to eat the pin either. It's a freaking tag team match.
I don't think Jay can. You gonna let Jay eat the pin?
Dude, Jay is so over right now, and to me, it's the same thing with Roman Reigns. It doesn't matter if they get pinned because they're so over. I don't think like them losing here, all of a sudden the fans aren't going to be behind them. But Braun and Bronson, if you are trying to build them up as a legit threat, with or without the presence of Seth Rollins, you can't have them constantly losing in big marquee matches like that.
I don't know.
I mean, to me,
I think it's a push. It's a push. I don't know.
Tiffany Stratton, Jade Cargill. Do you think Jade actually pulls the upset and dethrones Tiffany?
No.
Neither do I. And we'll maybe talk more about it after. I think that like it's good that Jade is being featured in this spot, but I still don't think she's ready to have the belt and run with it for a significant amount of time. Now, if eventually down the road we put the mid card belt on her and she has a run with that, then I'd be like, okay, yeah, let's go. But
I look at it like a heat streak, like on Price or White, the little on Price or White, they had the little lean guy like
oh yeah, yeah.
I think that's how you get hot and your streak. Tiffany Stratton's been on this hot streak for 2 years now, but she's still like maybe like 1/4 from the base.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even she's not even fully up. She's on going. It just keeps going, and she's not up to that tip yet to where I don't see her taking the title. I think it's going to be probably till Mania. To me, I think Mania. She might be the champion till Mania.
Do want to see her
Until something happens and maybe she loses to Julia or to Raquez, because the only other people that's on that path is either it's Rhea Ripley's been on this path for fucking 5 years now. She's still like
and
here.
and to me, I feel like Rhea is also at a point where it's kind of like Roman. Rhea doesn't need the belt to be a star. Rhea is a
No,
star, period.
no, but for the company, the belt on Rhea helps the company a lot more than anybody else, because I can't. You didn't watch 4 or 5 yet, so I can't say anything, and it fucking hurts my because I can sit right here and be like, dude, like trust
Well,
me, you
look,
could be on.
look,
We'll go back to
we'll talk about it Saturday and Sunday when you're over here for SummerSlam. Okay. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. Last match, and to me, this is one of the more intriguing matches. On Saturday, you have Sammy and Karrion Cross.
Karen should win.
Karrion needs to win. And I think the whole thing is if Karrion wins and Sammy's got to say the thing. Dude, Karrion needs to win, and Karrion definitely needs more spotlight than what he had been getting. Because I mean, dude, every time they give him a small segment on the show, he knocks it out the park, and it's like the fact that the fan base is behind him, even as a heel, and they want to see him more, and they want him to do more. It's like, come on, man, like let's get the ball rolling on this. And if it leads to a Sami Zayn heel turn too, then I'm all for it, because I think I've had about enough of babyface Sammy. Let's run its course.
All right, let's go night 2. I'm gonna start because I'm gonna go for the matches from what the least I'm looking forward to the most I'm looking forward to.
Okay.
The first match, let's do the regular match because this is the night of gimmicks. The first match, Dominic Mysterio versus AJ Styles for the IC title. Regular matchup.
You're not looking forward to that one?
No. I'm looking forward to. I think night 2 is stacked. This is stacked. This is a WrestleMania card.
But you said this was the match that you were least looking forward to.
On night 2. On night 2. That's how stacked this fucking card is.
Okay.
This is the okay. I look at these matches. I'm like, this is the one. Like, okay, this is the least I'm looking forward to. Is the Dominic Mysterio, AJ Styles? I think Dirty Dom's gonna win because talking about hot streaks, he's just that shit just crazy. It's crazy how these hot streaks are going and the rise of the other wrestlers and how they're rising. But no, that's to me, this is the sixth match I'm looking forward to of night 2.
Mm-hmm.
Not the whole weekend, just night 2. Like I said, night 2 is just stacked. What you think?
I think Dom finds a way to win. If maybe if maybe we get Finn interference and we get another great match between Finn and AJ, I'm all for it. If we get like that feud out of it, I'm all for it.
Okay, I agree with that one.
I would say maybe for me, maybe for me it's a Solo and Jacob match, and it's not that I'm not looking forward to seeing Jacob in the ring because, dude, Jacob is just a force of nature. Whenever he wrestles, like, dude, it's to me it's good shit. Just seeing him wreck people, but I don't know. Like, do you see Jacob getting the belt back?
Yes. Yes. I see him get the belt back. Dude, he's in a steel cage. He's going Jimmy Snook on the top fucking of the cage and Frog
Yeah.
Splash and Sokola. He's getting this fucking belt back. This is actually not my fifth one. It's up there. I'm looking forward to this match. I really am looking forward to this match because I just think what Jacob's going to do on top of the cage to Solo is going to be fucking crazy.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Okay.
But to me, like my fifth looking forward match is Becky Lynch versus Lyra.
Because I think to me, I love that. I love the story that they've been telling. And
I like the story, but it's like, okay, how many times we're gonna fucking have this match? I know this is the last time, but God, I feel like they've been fighting forever. They've been fighting since WrestleMania.
But there's interesting there's interesting storylines there because it's like, does Bailey maybe turn heel and cost Lyra the match, and then that leads to a few of them? Does Lyra maybe go heel in the aftermath of it all? Does Becky retain? I don't know. Like, it's kind of crazy. I feel like the possibilities that come out of this are endless. I'm kind of intrigued to see where it goes. I mean, like, I can see your point about fatigue starting to set in with Becky and Lyra running it back, but to me, I feel like the squeeze has been worth the juice.
Hey, if this was Becky versus Chelsea, yeah, I might be more excited for it. We
need to get Chelsea back. We need to get Chelsea back to the fucking forefront already. Does it say Julia's got the the women's US belt now? Which, I mean, I'm all for it because I'm a Julia fan, but at the same point in time, I'm like, man, they should have never taken it off of Chelsea so quickly. Like, I feel like there was still a lot more that could have been done with that. Unless it means eventually we're going to get Chelsea in the main event picture. Let's go.
So they got 3 more matches left on this card.
I'm really looking forward to that triple threat between Naomi, Rhea, and Io. I mean, like, dude, Rhea and Io can do no wrong. Like, any match of theirs is going to be great. I mean, that Bianca triple threat at Mania was one of the best matches of the weekend. And Naomi is no slouch. She can go in the ring. So I'm very intrigued to see what the 3 of them are going to bring to this match. But I have a feeling if there was a match that was going to be an opener, because clearly, as we said before, Cody Cena is going to be the main event. Look, the women opened night 2 of Mania earlier this year, and fucking that was a hot start for the show. This is going to be your opening match on night 2.
I think the opener is going to be the match that I'm looking forward to the most, and that's the 6-pack TLC.
You think so?
Dude, you open that up with like a ladder match, because that Carnage, that shit's going to be fucking insane. It ain't going to be a slow-paced fucking ladder match, because you got Angelo Dawkins, Montez Ford, Alex Shelley, Kis Sable. You got Nathan Frazier, Axum, Ciampa, Gargano, Ray Phoenix, Andrade, Dexter Lumis, and Joe Gracie. you have half of them are fucking
Hmm.
high flyers and extremists, and the other half don't give a fuck. They're trying to go all out to get the spotlight. This shit's going to be a fucking car crash, but in a good way.
Nah,
This
I'm
might,
not.
this could overtake TLC 2 to be one of the greatest TLCs. It has that potential.
It's a
Has
big bill.
potential.
That's lofty. That's lofty shoes to fill. But hey, I'm
It
all
has
for it if they can do it.
potential. It has potential because that storyline's been fucking insane. How they've been going after all everybody's been going after each other. It's been it looks like you're like what the fuck they're doing, but then you look at it back at it like oh, it's fucking awesome. This is it. They're just going fucking all at each other. But yeah, that shit right there is fucking insane lineup.
Yeah. No, I'm definitely looking forward to that. Who do you think comes out of that the winner?
I don't give a fuck.
Good
Dude,
answer.
I don't have a favorite. I want to see destruction. I think this is why you have to do the first because you have to take these guys to the hospital. They have to go to the hospital after this match. No, deep down, I want the Y6 to keep it, but I want Andrade and Ray Phoenix to get this title because those are the two. Ray Phoenix and his brother work so great.
Mm-hmm.
But Ray Phoenix and Andrade has been something. I've been loving their work in the ring. Oh, dude, I don't give a fuck. I don't care if it's Street Profits. I don't give a fuck who wins this match. That's how good of this match. I hope this match is that good because there's not a bad tag team in this fucking. The worst tag team in this matchup is probably the Motor City Machine Guns because of their age.
Yeah.
Because of their age. But craziness, dude, Dexter Lumis, Joe Gracie, they've shown they don't care.
They don't give a fuck.
Andrade and Ray Phoenix, we already know what Ray Phoenix can do. Andrade is now showing us, hey, this is why this is the reason why he should be in the spotlight more as a singles push, but he's going to show you what Andrade is. Fraxium is pretty much the best tag team there is out there right now. I mean, just by what they did in NXT with their belts and
they were a pick for tag team of the year when we did the Marquis. So yeah,
we know what the Street Profits can do. We know what Montez Ford can do. Flip, not just flippy dippy shit, but like holy shit, flippy dippy.
Montez is the Jeff Hardy of the modern day in WWE. As far as the high risk spots, he don't give a fuck.
And Angelo Dawkins is a beast.
Yeah,
but my favorite tag team is in this matchup is DIY because it's Gargano and Ciampa. But goddamn, that I don't care. It's going to be great.
So
I hope it's great. I hope it's great.
I have a feeling it'll be great. TLC 2 great. Time will tell, but we'll see. Then we have the main event. Cody and Cena. Do we see a title change? Do we see a double turn? Do we see the return of The Rock? I don't know. Like, what are your thoughts going into this? Is there any anticipation or things that you want to see?
I don't know. After I'm talking from show 4 and 5, which you have not seen yet, and I can't say anything. I don't know. I don't know what's fucking real. I don't know what's fucking fake. We got a superstar. Is he hurt? Is he not hurt? Is Rock coming back? Is not? I don't know because they've been doing a really good job of keeping shit under wraps.
Mm-hmm.
and not telling anybody nothing. I don't know. I'm just going to sit there and watch. Do I hope Cody wins the title back? Yes. But then I'm like, what's left for Cena to do for the rest of the year? I don't know. I don't know. Who would take it off of Cena? Or does WWE just retire that fucking championship altogether and then we're back to fucking one belt again and we're back to this fucking situation that we were 2 years ago? I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know. The only person that knows,
it's compelling storytelling. I'll tell you that.
from what I know, Hunter, Nick Khan, Cody, Cena, and probably two other people know, and no one else fucking knows.
Well, they made it a street fight for a reason. So there's going to be some kind of shenanigans, outside interference. I'm actually excited to be surprised. It to me this is definitely a different feel than going
Mania.
into that match at Mania and the fallout. Yeah. I kind of feel like they've heard enough shit about the aftermath of Mania and how that was such a letdown with the fans. Pretty sure that the fans made sure WWE knew that. So I feel like they're going to make up for it in a big way at SummerSlam, and I'm genuinely curious to see how it all plays out. Yeah. I have zero prediction because you could make a compelling argument for Cena retaining the belt and as compelling an argument for Cody getting it back. So
I think night two is like that general. There you can make an argument for one person win to win the matches, and there's an argument for the other person to win it, and it's I don't think you can go wrong with anything on night two. Whoever wins the night two, I don't think that you can go wrong with it. And that's the thing that's about night two. I think night two is just one of those. It is so fucking gimmick heavy. So why don't we just call night two Heat Wave, like ECW, because it is fucking ECW. That's an ECW card.
Pretty much.
No DQ, triple threat, street fight, TLC. Oh, we're gonna have a luchador and Dominic Mysterio versus AJ Styles. Oh yeah, that is an ECW card.
It's almost like Paul. It's almost like Paul Heyman's producer or something. I don't know.
Like he's in the room.
I was gonna say, so to close out the show, it's been kind of a crazy week. In a week where you thought that the passing of Ozzy Osbourne was going to be kind of the mainstay and something that we talk about, at least for a bit on the show. We, not even 2 days later, learn about the passing of Hulk Hogan.
I about bring about the person that was more before Ozzy Osbourne died was Malcolm Jordan. Warner passed away. To me,
the Cosby
more
Show, yeah.
Ozzy Osbourne to me is nobody. I am not a big Ozzy fan.
See,
I never liked Ozzy.
Sabbath. Well, it's funny, and it's funny that you say that because I was not really a big Cosby Show watcher as a kid. I mean, when it was on, I would sit and watch bits and pieces of it, but I mean, I was never one where it was like, oh man, it's Friday night or whatever night it came on, like it's appointment television. Ozzy, on the other hand, I love metal. Big fan of Sabbath. I liked a lot more of Ozzy's stuff in the 80s compared to like some of his other music that he had released over his career. But I mean, Ozzy had a presence in WWE, whether it be, going back to WrestleMania in the late 80s to, being one of the guest Raw general managers with the rest of his family as well. So I mean, there was at least like a wrestling connection there. Um, but yeah, no, I was gonna say I'll let you say a little bit about Malcolm Jamal Warner real quick.
I'm saying it to me. It's more interest. I was more to him because it's an age gap. Like I'm 10 years younger than he's only 10 years older than I am. So it's just like more like it's close. Like damn, Malcolm Jamal Warner passed away. It's just more to me. It hits more home. I also look. It's two different things. You grew up in the suburb of New Orleans.
Hmm.
I grew up in the heart of New Orleans. You know, there's different structures and different, my school, I was the minority in my school, you know.
Demographics and yeah,
So like you grew up we talked, growing up at school, you grew up talking about the Cosby show. That was like the mainstay. Like, hey, you seen Cosby show last night? That's a big thing on Friday. Like, hey, you saw the Cosby show last night? Um, but not for him. It was just more for me. It hit me hard because it's something from the past I used to watch all the time. Ozzy, look, I respect him. Look, he he was a staple in the metal industry. Like, great. I'm not a big metalhead type of person. I'm wearing fucking Van Halen. That's like that's not metal. That's hair band more. But
hey, I fucking love
to
hairband.
me,
Like,
but to
look,
me,
if not listening to Pro Wrestling Nation 24/7 on Sirius XM, I'm listening to Hair Nation.
but
Um,
but to
the
me,
80s hair metals. That is my heart and soul. But I mean, I love metal music in general, and Ozzy by association.
like when Eddie Van Halen passed away, that was like devastating to me.
No,
I was like,
that
yeah,
was
it
a
was like,
that was a kick in the nuts. Absolutely.
but like I'm like, damn. First thing my thing is, how the fuck this motherfucker still alive? And I actually said this to my dad. I go, how is this motherfucker still alive this long? And then half the bands I grew up listening to, I lost before I became an adult.
I mean, look at the wave of deaths of like alternative bands in the early 90s, man, like
No,
lead
forget.
singers from that.
We lost. There's only one grunge act that's still intact.
Pearl
The
Jam.
whole and that's not even and even the grunge act. That's not even fucking grunge. That's
Yeah,
alternative. To 10, the album 10 is grunge. The rest of that fucking shit they did, that shit was fucking alternative.
yeah.
But we lost Nirvana, we lost Alice in Chains, we lost Soundgarden, we lost Stone Temple,
Blind
Stone Temple
Melon,
Pilot,
Stone Temple Pile. Yeah, I mean,
and,
like
and Blind Melon. Blind Melon was alternative.
Soundgarden.
Yeah, I should say
Like,
Soundgarden. That was the third one. That's the
oh,
third one.
sorry.
But it's always it goes Nirvana, Alice in Chains. Alice in Chains because Alice in Chains was the one that was always disrespected into that. We can do podcasts about grunge music all the time because that's my favorite
Wait,
genre.
oh
But
no, dude, you and I could fucking do that though, because I was a fucking flannel wearing yeah, I was like a 6 7 year old flannel kid, listening to all those Seattle area bands in the early 90s. Man, that was my shit back then.
like I'm a big Seattle person because like my favorite band all the time is Nirvana.
Hmm.
My top five, Heart and Jimi Hendrix is in there. They're all from fucking Seattle. Like it's just even Heart. Like just think of it. Just think about. I'll say this, and we get out of the music thing because I
Yeah,
can.
I was gonna say I got a movie to catch.
Yeah,
So
look at two of the top all time guitarists, Kurt Cobain, Jimi Hendrix, both from the Seattle area, both left handed. Crazy.
yeah.
Let's go into but the main purpose in wrestling, who did pass away this weekend. Hulk Hogan did pass away. He was 71 years old. Passed away on the 25th of this month in Clearwater, Florida. Cause of death right now they're saying is cardiac arrest.
Hmm.
This is Hulk Hogan made his debut in professional wrestling August 9th, 1977. He was
Sterling Golden.
He was trained by Hiro Masada And I just a couple stats I got for him. Champion. He was in AWA, New Japan Pro Wrestling, USAA, WWE, WCW, and TNA is the main promotions that he were in. He is a six-time WWE champion, a six-time WCW World Champion, one-time WWE Tag Team Champion, one-time IWGP Heavyweight Champion, two-time Royal Rumble winner, and a two-time WWE Hall of Famer. 2005 individually and 2020 for the NWO. He was ranked in the PWI rankings in 1991 as number one, was his highest, and his last ranking in the PWI was in 2002.
So, God, like, just to, I guess kind of bring it home, or at least to like on a personal level, I had become less and less of a Hogan fan as the years went on. More so, just kind of like when you get older. I mean, like I liked Hulk as a kid, but then you get older and you realize, like, man, he's, it's kind of a one-trick pony. Like, when you compare what he was doing in the ring to what others were, it was kind of like when you get more respect of work rate and just general ability. I could see why Hogan got a lot of hate that he did, as far as like his in-ring style, so to speak. So like I became like less of a fan of his, like, getting older. But then, of course, there's the controversial comments that he made, and the fact that he never truly apologized in a way that the people that were affected by his comments were able to accept it and move on. And so, like, a lot of that kind of left a very bad taste, in my mouth. And so when I first got the news, and when I say when I first got the news, every fucking body I knew texted me about, like, dude, did you hear what happened? Did you hear what happened? Did you hear what happened? You were one of them. But I mean,
I text news in our group. I was
but
the
I mean,
first person to text the news to the group.
yeah, but I mean, like, considering the nature of, what we do, we do this podcast or whatever, that's not surprising, that I get a text from you about it. But like, people that that I know aren't even wrestling fans, reaching out to me about it. Like, my boss, who gives me shit all the time for being as big of a mark of wrestling as I am, even she was like, are you okay? Do you need to take 5? Do you need to, whatever? So no, I mean, like, no, I mean, but at the end of the day, like, whether you liked the person that, Hogan ultimately, like, personally, or the character that you saw in the ring, like, it's undeniable the impact that he had on the industry and on wrestling as a whole. I mean, without Hulk Hogan, wrestling as we know it today does not exist. Okay. The fact that he had successful stretches in 3 decades, big star in the 80s, big star in the 90s, big star in the 2000s, like, that says something. Does the success of the very first WrestleMania happen without Hulk Hogan? I mean, the Rock and wrestling connection, the golden era, so to speak, of WWE in the 80s. It's like, if you don't have Hulk Hogan Hulk Hogan there to do that, does the WWE take off the way that it does? I mean, few quick factoids. The AWA was never the same after Hulk Hogan left. Like, the AWA was probably the hottest promotion in the early 80s, aside from Crockett. Hogan leaves because they refuse to put the belt on him, and Vince poaches him away. AWA dies a very slow, painful death, and they never see the success that they had once he was gone.
Yeah, but with that aspect of the AWA, they just didn't poach Hogan. They poached didn't half the fucking roster.
Well, they posted at the fucking
They poached
roster. They did, but at the same point in time, Hogan was the thing that was the attraction that brought people into the building. And so once he was gone, what was left? You know what I mean? Like AWA was never the same. They never recovered. Hulkamania existed before WrestleMania, like to the point of like the whole reason why it's named WrestleMania was to capitalize on the whole Hulkamania, you know. So I mean, wrestlers have gone on record to say that like they would look and see like who was on the card because they knew that if Hulk Hogan was headlining the card that night, they were all going to make more money. And the whole, turn of phrase, thank you for the house, like Hulk Hogan was a credit to that because, I mean, the wrestling boom in the 80s in large part was because of him. The crossover to the mainstream happens because of him. Dude, like the heel turn in 96, with the NWO. I remember watching Bash at the Beach 96 as, I think it happened right before my 11th birthday. But I remember being a 10-year-old watching that match, seeing Hulk come out, turn heel, and I had a foam Hulkster, like posing like that was up on my wall, like one of those little foam hand thingies that you put on and wave in the crowd. I remember going to my room right after watching that match because my mom had a black box with a chip, and so we would watch a lot of the people reviews illegally. But I remember going into my room after the pay-per-view, grabbing that Hulk foam thing off of my wall and ripping it to shreds because I was like, fuck Hulk Hogan. Can't believe Hulk Hogan said fuck the fans and all this other stuff. So, I mean, it impacted the mark, in me as a kid. Like,
damn. So on one side of the city, you were tearing up your foam finger, and on the other side of the city, I was becoming a Hulk Hogan fan for the first time because he turned heel. I was like, damn.
yeah, no, crazy, right? But no, just like, the impact that he left on the business. And it's like, again, like him taking credit for others people's work rubbed me the wrong way when he would make comments like that. But again, it's undeniable the impact that he had on the business. Yeah. And again, like the fact that, wrestling today, we would not have WrestleMania as the grand spectacle without Hulk. Some of those like grand marquee moments when you think of wrestling history, Hogan slamming Andre at WrestleMania 3, Hogan walking in the back corridors of Madison Square Garden, get ready to come out for the main event of WrestleMania 1 with Mr. T.
The whole ball.
Yeah, the holds bar too. Yeah. The heel turn with the NW. I mean, like these are all like landmark moments that kind of like breaks out into the mainstream, and it's like Hogan was a large part of that. And
real quickly, okay, we have to. I know we're on a hard out real quick. Mm-hmm. The two things that the first thing that came to my mind when I got the notice on my phone, Hogan died. Fucking Ric Flair is still standing.
So all right. So yes, there's that. You were talking earlier about like a lot of your rock legends that died, and you're like, how the fuck did Ozzy like surpass them or whatever like that? And I'm also sitting there thinking in the back of my head, I'm like, how the fuck is Keith Richards still around? Like when you were talking about all of that, I was like, that was what was in my head. But yeah. Like it's crazy. Ric Flair, the kiss stealing, wheeling dealing son of a gun, he's still around.
He's still alive. And then the funny story that day is my dad comes home and he busts through the door and he's like, comes in the room. He's like, hey, you heard the news today? You heard the Honey Badger died and Hogan retired? I was like, No, get that
Yeah,
turned around.
other way around. Yeah,
Honey Badger retired. Hogan passed away. He's like, oh, something like that. I was like,
something like that.
I was, I was like, damn. He was like, Honey Badger died. You heard? He's like, the first thing he's like, Honey Badger died, and Hogan retired. And I was like, no, reverse it. Honey Badger retired. Hogan passed away. I'm like, did Tyron Matthew pass away? I'm like, I wasn't shocked about it because, but I was like, oh, no. Hogan, like, it's something like that. And I was like, yeah, okay.
You know,
But
like honestly, when I first got the news, I wasn't very affected by it. You know, everybody was like, "Well, dude, are you okay? Are you?" I'm like, dude, I was more of a Macho Man fan. Like, I that news hit me harder when it happened than Hogan. But the more that I've kind of had a few days to like sit on it and think about it and reflect on it, I'm like, yeah, man. I mean, he's a controversial dude, but it still kind of sucks that he's gone. You know, like especially the complicated relationship that he has with his kids and everything now too. It's like that's a that's a whole other can of worms. But
I'm,
yeah,
look, these wrestlers in their 70s. Let's first thing, it's shocking that he lasted till he was 71. Let's be real. Any wrestler from the 80s that's still alive today, let's be honest, it's shocking that they're still fucking alive and walking, especially fucking Ric Flair. So that's one thing. He lasted to 71. He lasted a lot longer than a lot of people because we lost a lot of wrestling legends since then. But
when you think back to like the first few WrestleManias, like a lot of those big marquee names, like you know Hogan Warrior, Hogan Savage, Hogan Andre, you know like Roddy Piper, all gone.
like I said, any you think the wrestlers that happened in the 80s that's still alive, which is fucking Ric Flair.
Mm-hmm.
Shocking that they lasted this long because it's what they did, and we know what they did partying, and we're talking about partying back in the day, and then they're still alive.
Mm.
It's thankful, but yeah, I'm not. Shit happened, you know.
Yeah, well, sad to see a legend like that go, but we got a big weekend of wrestling coming up where we have some of the newer stars that can make a name for themselves and their legacy going forward. So it'll be exciting to see uh, what goes down at SummerSlam this weekend. I'll have fun watching it with you, good buddy, and a couple of our friends, and I'm sure we'll be back here on this podcast not too long after to talk about the fallout of the two-night event.
Yeah, for sure. We'll probably go now since I'm in town and back in town. We'll probably have shows get together, but we also have some shows that we can do remotely because hey, it's easier and it's quick, fast for us on our end sometimes. But we'll have more shows that be in
Back in
studio.
studio, and yeah, so it'll be good to have a little mix of the two.
Yeah. So from that, we'll call this show a wrap. See you guys next time. Hopefully, it won't be too long. Probably be a week or two, and then we'll talk about SummerSlam, and then going into Clash of the Castle. And I don't know what the next AEW event is. I don't care.
You suck. Anyway, yeah, that'll do it for this edition of the Ragin Marks Wrestling Podcast. Thank you as always for tuning in. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know, man. I fumbled like the biggest and most important word of them all. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thank you for your support and patronage. And for Rampage Ravesy, this is Ravishing Randy signing up. Deuces.